Hello. I am going to share some stuff that many people may not understand, but may or may not. I guess we'll see. The question I got the other day was, why do I get sick when I'm stressed out? Because I was discussing a stress management course I have coming up, and I'll get to that later. But I thought it was a great question. First of all, John's not a doctor. I have many friends that are doctors. I read a lot of stuff all the time relative to medical science, all this kind of stuff. I'll tell you John's knowledge and perspective. You don't believe me, you don't have to. I encourage you to research everything I say. Don't believe a word John ever says, okay? I'll tell you from John's limited perspective as a non-medical professional of any sort why you get sick. The reason you get sick is quite simply your body has two nervous systems, okay? One nervous system, you probably heard of, very common, fight or flight. Ah, scare, right? That'd be a good screen capture, by the way. Ah, right? So fight or flight is the body's side of the nervous system that's actually on most of the time. And when it really gets stressed out, it really depreciates the body's ability to fight disease. On the opposite side of things is something called rest and digest. So think of it this way. Imagine there's a deer in the forest, and the deer is enjoying a delicious grassy meal, and then it sees something scary, a wolf, whatever, and then it freaks out. It runs for 10 minutes until it feels it's free. And by the way, most of these animals can far outrun their predators, as I'm sure you're well aware. And then it feels better, and after a few minutes, all of the hormones of stress deplete out of the body, and then it's back to eating, taking a nap, because it feels safe again. So us as humans experience this on a daily basis, but we experience it as work stress, money stress, children, not enough food. A lot of people are very hungry, and that's obviously high stress. Concern of losing your home. Millions of stresses. I mean, just traffic is a stress. Getting into a car and driving at a pace faster than the body can physically run, it actually puts our body under stress. So now let me go into the sick part. So when your body adapts to a certain extent to this, it's designed to have a certain extent of the fight or flight. That's why a little bit of stress, you don't get sick. But when it overloads it, it actually causes the immune system to go down. So then let me explain what happens. An example of high levels of stress and using the lowered immune response. So, for example, if you got an organ transplant, let's say I need a new heart, someone passed away, they got a heart, I get their new heart. The problem is, as close as my DNA is to me, unless there's a John clone, the DNA is not mine. So the heart will not match me. So I'm sure you heard that people have rejections, and they even do pig's hearts and all these other things. When they do that, because this is the thing that the body, it knows that your body is exceptionally intelligent. The innate intelligence of your body is unbelievable. But it knows that's not John's heart. It knows. So what do they do? And again, I don't believe a word I say, look this up. What they do is they actually give the body's tremendous amount of stress, and they overload it with cortisol, which is the stress hormone. You've probably heard of cortisol, makes us fat, makes us not have good sleep, etc. And what they do is they have it so hopefully it heals enough so that, and starts to be slightly accepted to the body, so that other heart is viewed as my heart. So that's the only other way. Otherwise, the body will immediately reject it, because again, the body has a high level of innate intelligence. It knows its basic DNA structure. I am not that other person, and vice versa. So that's an example of using high stress to basically make immunity zero. So at lower levels of stress, you will feel better, which is when you'll notice when you take a vacation and you feel, well, let's say you're a non-exerciser. There's a lot of non-exercisers out there. And by the way, we're halfway through January, so if you haven't done any, maybe do a little bit just to make you feel a little better. But that being said, pretend You're not an exerciser. And don't worry, many people aren't. All good. Let's go for a walk. When you do your vacay, congratulations. I hope you had a wonderful time. When you're done, let's say you had your week on the beach, you're like, you actually want to start working out. You're like, what the heck happened? I feel good. I'm gonna go for a walk. And you do that. And you're like, I'm not a workout person. I feel good. I feel well slept. Sleep helps, and relaxation rejuvenates the body. So, and thank you guys for the emojis. I think it's funny. Obviously, I'm trying to be silly. I never know if I'm funny, but I think I'm funny, and at the end of the day, that's all good with me. So, that being said, understand that rest and relaxation rejuvenates the body. Obviously, and hopefully that's the most obvious thing in the world. When you're overly stressed, it does the opposite. It pulls away your rejuvenation and lowers your immune system. So I'm hoping not to talk crazy, but I was trying to tell you that extreme levels of pulling out, of creating stress, actually can be used for things as violating, for lack of a better term, to a body as a new organ from another human or pig, because they've done pigs, into the human system. So it's important that you understand that. And there's still a high level of rejection, even with when they reduce the cortisol and slightly healed and all that. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is many of you are under high level of stress and probably not feeling as rejuvenated as you could. So I would invite you to find ways to rejuvenate yourself. Spend time outdoors. Go to the beach. Most people watching this are in Trinidad. Listen, I know Trinidad, the island, Tobago has beautiful islands. If you're in Tobago, God bless you. Go to any of the 30 beaches and have a blast. Trinidad has a lot of beaches too. They're just not so close. But the point is, go to the beach. Go for a walk. Go to the botanical gardens. Find a way to refresh yourself. If you can't do that, I respect it. But if you want an opportunity to hang out with me for a day and get the opportunity to rejuvenate and set goals that will make you feel awesome for the new year, like that walk that you're about to do, the whole exercise thing, feels good to feel good, trust me. So if you don't feel good, I want you to feel good. But that being said, on the 2nd of February, which is a Sunday, I'm doing an all-day retreat at a place called Colibri. And the owner there, by the way, does 1 or 2 festivals a year. There are these holistic health festivals. And if you're not on my email list now, I would encourage you to get there because I promise I'll share his event when he does it. And I know you guys are in the group, so I promise I'll do my best to share it in the group as well. But you get to experience this location. It's truthfully, in my opinion, outside of going to a beach and sitting in the water somewhere, it's the most heavenly place I've personally experienced in Trinidad. For me, it's super soothing, which is why I'm so honored and blessed to actually be able to do these retreats there. But you can come to the Holistic Festival even if you don't come to my retreat. And here's what's also cool. He's asked me to MC. So I'm assuming I'm available. I really am hoping I am. I will be MCing the holistic thing, and I'll as soon as I find out, I'll post it to the group. So long story short, take time to de-stress. A few simple hacks: walk in places that feel calm, meditate. Don't worry, it's not woo-woo. There's too much unbelievable levels of normal scientific data backing up why it's so good for you. Sit, close your eyes, sit, not lie down. Close your eyes, silence, 5 minutes. Start with that. Just breathe, watch your breath. Don't worry about making anything complex. Ground your feet, take your shoes off, walk on concrete or the earth. Concrete actually grounds your body. Get some sun. These things will help you to rebuild your immune system. Yeah, and come to my retreat. So I'll post the details about the retreat here in a minute. But if you have any questions about anything I talked about, please put them below. I appreciate all of you. You guys are awesome. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your night. Take care.